Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 31 in the ALV for November 30th, 2023. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa, with which his mother taught him. What, my son, and what, O son of my womb, and what, O son of my vows? Give not your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroy kings. It's not for kings, O Lemuel, it's not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. Lest they drink, and forget that which is decreed, and pervert the judgment of all the sons of affliction. Give strong drink to him who is ready to perish, and wine to the bitter in soul. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open your mouth for the mute, in the cause of all such as are the sons of passing away. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and minister justice to the poor and needy. A worthy woman who can find? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he shall have no lack of spoil. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships as she brings her bread from afar. She rises also while it is yet night and gives food to her household and their portion to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength and makes strong her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out by night. She lays her hands to the distaff, and her palms hold the spindle. She stretches out her palm to the poor. Yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She makes for herself carpets of tapestry. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and delivers sashes to the Canaanite. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the law of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done worthily, but you excel them all. Grace is deceitful, and beauty is in vain. A woman who fears Yahweh, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. We spend so much time in Proverbs learning to be a good dude and learning what to avoid and what situations and people, ladies, that we should watch out for. But in this final chapter, we finally get this is the model, ladies, and this is what you're looking for, fellas. Interestingly enough, we start with the admonition against, wine and strong drink, strong alcohol, assuming that that's what that means. That could have other connotations. The point being, it doesn't even say ooh, this is bad. A lot of people want to label alcohol, and personally, I'm not an alcohol fan. It's not a great substance. But the point is, if you do a word study, it turns out that there are more positive mentions of drinking than there are negative mentions of drinking. So while we're not supposed to be drunk, clearly it's not a mortal sin to be drinking wine or strong drink. There are situations in which it's not appropriate, and people for whom it's not wise, for an array of reasons. Also, as men, we should be confident to speak up, to say what is just, so to save people from fates they don't deserve. Many have, and I could go into the description of the Proverbs 31 woman, but there's so many things here to combat, let's say, stereotypes and slurs against, Christian women, and it's usually framed as those conservative people. But it's we see a highly functioning woman, not somebody who's dependent on her husband, but in fact a husband who is largely dependent on her and all her efforts. This is a person who's not afraid to work, in a literal sense, girding up their loins, strengthening their arms. This is not a weak, frail lady. somebody who's planting a vineyard after they bought a field because they made profits and the other stuff they were doing on top of their household duties. Like, this is not a person trapped in the house, barefoot and pregnant, as they like to say, right? This is somebody this is a power babe, right? This is what a healthy, functioning lady should look like. How much more should we have healthy, functioning households if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do in the relationship? Guys, girls, children. So let's try to follow the model in the book. I appreciate anybody who's tolerated me being out and not taking care of business, not staying on after Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining me. Go with God. Be blessed. I hope you enjoyed the ALV translation, the American Literary Version. I really liked it. It's been difficult. I got my little tabs in here, you can see, to keep my different chapters in order and figure out where I am. But other than that, it's a pretty nifty translation. I want to read some of our Advent. You read a chapter of Luke every night in the same way to get the Christmas story and to relate the whole story of Jesus. So tonight, instead of the David Jeremiah Kids Study Bible, which I believe is New King James Version, maybe some ALV. We'll see. Tonight's the house church Christmas party, so we get to go and feast and fellowship with our fellow members, and I'm excited about that. It feels like it's been a very long time between being out of town, being sick, kids being sick, all these reasons that I missed since Thanksgiving. I'll be happy to sit with my friends and hear about everybody. So go with God. Be blessed. Follow the model.